Mandy, you are a unique kind of a manifestation expert. You are a master manifester. And instead of teaching how to manifest what you want, what Mandy does is she stops you from counter manifesting by helping you release the biggest mental, emotional, and spiritual blocks that stop you from manifesting what you want. And what you've been able to do has really been quite remarkable. Your what you've done in a short period of time is proof positive that manifesting really works. Hi, I'm Marci Shimoff, and welcome to this wonderful conversation that I am so looking forward to having with Mandy Morris. For those of you who don't know me, I am the New York Times bestselling author of Happy for No Reason and Love for No Reason, and 6 titles in the Chicken Soup for the Soul series. I'm a featured teacher in the movie The Secret. I'm the founder of Your Year of Miracles, an online program on living a miraculous life. And I'm the narrator of the award-winning movie Happy. And I am very happy, for great reason, to get to be here with Mandy Morris. Mandy's the author of the Hay House book right here called The 8 Secrets to Powerful Manifesting. And this book is magnificent. It's a compilation of the best techniques that Mandy's company, which is called Authentic Living, has shared with over 800,000 students in more than 60 countries. And I have gotten to read the book, and it is a powerful and practical book on really manifesting in a way that I have not read like this. So I am very excited to have this conversation with you, Mandy, and thank you for sitting down with me.
Well, thank you. And it's so funny when I was like, we're going to have a conversation with Marci, I sat there and I was like, all of those years of chicken soup sitting on my bedside. And I feel like truly those books made me a better person. And it's probably why I wanted to help the world. So this is so beautiful.
Oh, that's so sweet. Coming full circle. Here we are.
Always.
I love it. Love it. Love it. So let's just start by talking about, why do you think that people need help in manifesting? Why are they stuck?
I feel like, if I look back at the pain in my own life and the programming, that's a huge piece of the manifestation. And as you said, counter manifesting, a huge piece of what I teach is that all of that pain, all of that programming, all of that trauma from the past, we think that that can just kind of stay behind and we can just consciously manifest. We can just mantra our way into what we want. Nice. And absolutely, once we've done the work, but if our energy is fractaling in 2 directions where I consciously want beautiful things, but subconsciously I'm sabotaging it because it's scary, or for some reason there's pain in my past about it, I'm not allowing myself to open all of my energy to the abundance of the universe. And instead, some energies counter manifesting, going in the wrong direction, causing more pain, causing the cycle of, am I not good enough? Why isn't this working? Why can't I manifest? Versus it should be beautiful. Like life is meant to be in flow. We just got to get rid of all the stuff that isn't us.
Yeah, I love that, because obviously there has been a piece missing in many people's minds about, I think I'm doing all the right things, but it's not working. And what you're saying is there is this very, very important piece that comes in, and I'm all 100% with you on this. Totally.
Yeah, it's like this subconscious reel. That's what I call it. I'm like, it's the movie that keeps playing. So the energy keeps, 24/7 is always being sent in oppositional, direction if we're not aware of what we actually are saying, what our conversation with the universe truly is.
Yeah. And I want to go into we're going to get into some practical tips that people can use right away to change that conversation. But first, I really would love to know, how is it that you came to this? How did you get started in this manifesting world? And were you always a master manifester?
No, I was a perfect counter manifester, unfortunately. And fortunately, because I think that's why I realized, gosh, I'm missing something here. Like, I can feel that it's meant for me somewhere inside of me, but it's certainly not happening. And so I was a child of divorce, and I had more traumas than I could probably even list here, although I don't maybe seem it now. And, dysfunctional relationships. My father called me when he was attempting suicide when I was 13. Thing after thing. And then I went into my adolescence, into my young adulthood with just so much baggage, so much trauma, and really starting to attract and be attracted to further dysfunction, further chaos. And I shut off my light, totally shut off my light, and didn't realize that that was so crucial to manifestation and to just having a beautiful life. And so on my father's lineage, although obviously he had some issues, he was incredibly intelligent. So we kind of have a genius side over there. And I, of course, shut that off too. But I found in my early 20s, I was sitting in rooms with NASA scientists and government officials and these incredible people doing amazing things behind the scenes for humanity. And I was like, how did I get into this room? And, self-flagellation. I'm not good enough for this. How could I be here? And it wasn't until I have a background in psychology now and so forth, but I still chose dysfunction. And it wasn't until this incredible moment where I was in an abusive relationship and the gentleman that I was dating, he threw glass at me. And for some weird reason, that was my breaking point. And I dropped to my knees and I talked to my higher power. And I was like, if I'm here for something else, please make it abundantly clear, because I don't want this pain anymore. Please bring me peace. And I gave myself over to service. And for some reason, then the flow of information was manifestation. And all of the compilations of knowledge that I had gathered throughout life, had no idea how to piece them together for myself for years, just kind of glued together. And that's where authentic living was really birthed, and manifestation, and how to put it all together for everyone. And counter manifestation, of course, came through.
Well, there's a saying, our mess becomes our message. So thank you so much for having taken the mess that you had and all those lessons and channeling it in this way. And you are such an amazing, wonderful manifester. I know your fabulous husband now, Oliver, is just a great manifestation. Good
Perfect.
job. And that all you've done, and I'm so excited that, you've put it together in this book. I just think that this, 8 Secrets book to Powerful Manifesting is so practical for people and so useful, and what we need now, what's that missing ingredient. And so, you talk about set it and forget it manifesting. And I just want to know what is that?
So it is something that I stumbled upon, but I realized kept happening. And so I was like an avid journaler from 5 years old. I used to write to my higher power. And then I journaled everything that happened in my life. I still do to this day. Sometimes I'll fill pages every day. It was just this really therapeutic, beautiful thing. But I noticed that as the years went on, I would write certain things like, I'm going to write a book for Hay House. I'm going to experience this thing. I'm going to have a child at this time. And I was like, it kept coming true. And so I'm always reverse engineering it. That's the science part of me. I was like, how did I do that? And the thing that always was happening with this set it and forget it was what was happening was I would be in an extremely high vibration. That feeling, and sometimes it's fleeting, but that feeling of all things are possible. Mm-hmm. I'm there. I can feel, it's not in front of me, but I can feel it. You feel the vibration, you feel the energy of that which you desire. And it feels like it's already there. And so I would get myself into that state, or when it would randomly come, I'd be like, run to the journal because this is the moment. This is a magical manifestation moment. And I would write out my manifestation in only the ways that felt light. And I urge everyone to do this. Whenever you're in a high state, write it or pop open your phone and make a video if you have to, but just capture that and set an intention. And then you surrender it. You set the intention and you completely forget about it. You let the universe do as it may, because it's almost like you're energetically stamping that high vibration. And then all of the fears and the what ifs and will it really come kind of get put into a bubble instead of come in and create the counter manifestation.
Wow. And, you mentioned something really interesting in all of this, which is the whole vibration thing. I mean, to me, what I teach in the Year of Miracles and in my work is that everything is vibration, and it's about us raising our energetic vibration so that this can come in, which sounds a lot like having to shift the counter manifesting.
Yeah.
Your energetic vibration. So what would you say about that?
I think the big thing, and this is, sometimes we think that growth isn't going to be fun. And so we avoid it. Or the subconscious, I used to work on psychosomatic illnesses. So I had to dig into someone's subconscious and take some really big traumas out, but they have to feel safe enough to go there. And I've noticed that a lot of times our trauma surfaces and then we're like, no, shove it back down. But it's coming because the subconscious is saying, we're safe. It's time to release. And so all that stuff that's buried in those nooks and crannies of our minds, that is all of this stuff that creates the counter manifestation. So if we can, with love, help that rise back up to the surface and create a different energy around it and understand it, heal it, shift the belief, and that it can be fun and it can actually be easy. Shifting can be instantaneous if we so choose to believe it, that those counter manifestations become smaller and smaller. And I imagine our energy kind of being like instead of a lamp where our energy is being sent out everywhere and it's kind of dim if you're from far away. It turns into a laser because all of us, all of our essence and being is in unison. So the counter manifestations are just these little moments and potholes and thoughts and triggers, but you know exactly how to get back on track. And so I always tell people, I'm like, dig into your subconscious. Just challenge one belief, one tiny little thought a day. You know, maybe that doesn't have to be the ultimate truth. Maybe there's another option. Is there someone out there that lives it differently? And lean into that energy and that vibration and say, just maybe, pure possibility, just maybe. We don't have to be like overly positive, but we can't be pessimistic and, you know, rooted in the negative, but just what is possible if I'm neutral.
Right, right. To be open. It's the difference in being closed and shut down, and this is the way it's been going to be, versus being open to what's possible.
100%.
I love that. Yeah. So maybe you could give us one tip of something we could do to up our manifesting, maybe something that came from your new book, that we can do easily and apply today, right now.
Yes, totally. I would say the easiest one, and sometimes people are like, oh gosh, I'm going to hear a lot of information come in, but I call them energetic check-ins. And they're really simple in essence, but it's just understanding the dominant vibration that we have. And emotions are such a huge piece to manifestation. We think that emotions run us, but master manifestors use emotions to further create. And so we have to be able to master them. And so energetic check-ins are super simple. You set your alarm on your phone. It could be every hour. I like people to do every hour, but for some it's not possible, or it'll drive you crazy. But morning, noon, and night at minimum. And you're going to ask yourself just a few questions. So when that alarm goes off, it is truly check in. What emotion is most dominant in me right now and why? That's simple. And, you know, that first step of seeing, this is how I truly feel. Because sometimes like we like to just, you know, paint over a toilet and be like, it's pretty, it's great, it's fine. But really underneath the surface, we're like, I'm frustrated all day long. No wonder my life looks the way it does, because now I'm aware of what I'm walking around with. And instead of, and I always say, no judgment. We are curious. We are science experiments. We're not getting emotional about the feedback. We're just curious about what comes up in the check-ins. And when we ask ourselves why, that begins the process of awareness. And sometimes 99% of it is just awareness, and then it heals itself. When you're like, oh my gosh, I was so mad that he loaded the dishwasher funny. I felt uncared for. Now I need to meet that uncared for need in a healthier way than shoving it down. So I'm going to go have a conversation or whatever it is. So whatever that why is, if you can, you take it one step further and say, I've got a need here. I'm triggered, or I'm angry, or I'm walking around feeling, you know, funky. What happened in the past hour? I was good in my last check-in, whatever it may be. And how can I lean in a little bit more and understand what it's from, and then meet that need that I have? That's a beautiful need, but meet it in a more elevated way. Fill up that cup before it's empty.
I love that. Okay. So I can honestly say how my feeling right now is grateful. And the why is because I'm having this wonderful conversation with you about a topic that's so important for people, that people really, you know, when you get this thing down of understanding manifesting and how to get beyond your counter manifesting, then, you know, the world is this fabulous, you know, the world is my oyster, that thing.
Truly.
You get to have. So I love that you're doing this. And I know that you've got so much more in this because I've already gotten to read it. So I just want to encourage everybody to get 8 Secrets to Powerful Manifesting. It's brand new. And you've got a ton of bonuses that you're giving when people buy this. What are some of those?
There's meditation. Some of them are higher self attunements. Some of them are getting into the energy of abundance. It's 10 minutes long, so it's a good one. And then PDFs of ways to raise your vibration, a 5-minute trigger and persona check-in, which you may not know what, you know, the readers may not know what I'm talking about in this moment. You'll know when you read the book, but it's so powerful, and it's rooted in science and psychology. And then of course that beautiful spiritual woo-woo, as I call it, the magical, you know, all the manifestations we want where they drop on our head. That happens after we've done a little bit of that, you know, psychological and neuroscientific work.
Well, I just want to really thank you for being a light, for really, really sharing beautiful wisdom in such easy and accessible ways, and for really being a master manifester. I'm delighted to have you in my life as a wonderful colleague and resource on manifesting. So
Thank you so much. And all of that, likewise, I've got goosebumps. I'm so grateful.
Yeah, I call them God bumps.
I'm using that.
Okay, thank you. And so everybody run out and click quickly and get 8 Secrets to Powerful Manifesting. What's the website?
The8secrets.com, and 8 is the actual number.
8secrets.com.
Yep.
All right. Lots of love to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Marci.
Thank you.